Hey, Shalom, Markins, Rakam, Makapashan, Jimis, Loni, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Chachodash. I want to give double honors to the elders, the apostles of Jimis, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, preaching his truth in all sincerity. Back again, got another article here. Um, you know, Biden and the US administration bragging at the fact that they managed to kill some unknown, anonymous ISIS leader that no one even heard about until he got killed. Right, but apparently, they've been watching this guy. He's a threat to the world, and yeah, and they got their guy, right? But Esau's at it again, man. He's just disruptive on the earth, man. He's just out there doing what the hell he wants to do, blowing up people, children, anything he want to do in another man's country, right? He's the hammer of the earth. The scripture speaks about, man. He had to go wherever the hell he wants on the planet, and blowing the shit out of it, man, and killing people, and declaring war and this and that and the third, because he's the world police, right? Esau's the world police, and he gets to dictate to everybody on the planet what they shouldn't do, man. And if you ain't doing what they want to do, they come and blow you up, But so he's at it again. He's making these situations, these events take place, make it like he doing good in the world. He's stopping terrorists. He's Superman, right? He's saving the earth from the evil people, right? But all it is that they're doing, they're the ones making all the war, and they're just out here lying, lying and lying and lying, to convince people that America is somehow righteous, man, and good in the world. No, if you still believe that America is a force for good in the world, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. They need to be taken out, and they will be taken out. Yeah, Yahweh Shemi Yahushua is going to take out that land of America, man. Okay, when the Most High sends that judgment against it. All right, but do you still believe in this BS? And I'm gonna get to a quote, man, because they're still pushing that same shitty, stupid ass reason or line, about it's making the world safer or making American people safer. But you're in a whole different fucking land that's miles away from you. Talking about protecting U.S. citizens and all that shit in another man's land. No, your army's meant to protect your own borders. Anyway, I'm gonna read some of this. I've already got a couple of scriptures lined up. I'm not gonna make this long. All right, it says President Joe Biden delivered a statement from the White House Thursday celebrating what the Pentagon described as a successful assassination mission carried out against the purported leader of ISIS group in northwestern Syria's Idlib province. My man's suffering in the ratings, man. So I guess they got to do something to prop up his numbers, man, because my man's Biden's a joke. Yeah, he suffered, man. People are very dissatisfied with him. So I guess he got to kind of do something to make it look like he's, some sort of hero or some shit. Or you got the elections coming up or whatever it is coming up. All right, this is blah blah blah. All right, so rescue workers told Al Jazeera that they pulled 13 bodies from the rubble of the three-story house after the U.S. troops departed. Among the dead, they said, were 4 women and 6 children. All right, so Esau don't give a shit. He don't care who gets caught up in it, man. Okay, he always talks about collateral damage. Man. That's all they are to him. They're not people. They're not people. They're not children. They're not women or nothing, or they're elderly. You don't care, all right? And it's good to say he shan't show favor to the young and the old and all that kind of stuff, right? You don't care. If you're in the way of his target, man, you don't matter who's in there. You don't matter who's in there, and they just spin a story, right? Because we don't know what the true story is. We're just hearing their their version of it, because everybody else involved is dead, right? So this is what it says. It says Oh, they mentioned it down here somewhere. Oh yeah. So there were no U.S. casualties, right? So none of the troops died. Okay, but this 4 women and 6 children, the Arab children or whatever, they all perished, right? It says while a helicopter was lost in the operation, the Pentagon insisted that it was deliberately destroyed after mechanical problems and not brought down by a hostile fire. So they self-destructed it apparently, right? Biden and the Pentagon had already made alibi for the civilian deaths, so they were already ready to say what they needed to say to stop the outrage or the outcry that women and children were killed in the process of this. All right, so they really got their story sorted and what they were about to say, right? So here it goes. This is for the civilian deaths from their extra-legal assassination raid. They claimed that the alleged ISIS leader had detonated explosives as the U.S. commandos approached. All right, so they're saying they blew it up, right? The children had been human shields, as the Pentagon put it, right? So they had this story that oh no, he's holding his own family hostage and using it to protect himself and whatever. Which is not the first time they've said something like this, right? And I've seen it in the games and all that kind of stuff. These are just tactics that they use to justify what happened, right? As the children had been human shields, as the Pentagon put it, and all of the casualties were the result of al-Qurayshi, which was the ISIS leader's name, right? Final act of desperate cowardice, in the words of Biden. Yeah, because they're all cowards. They're all cowards. All of them. All the enemy. It's like when Rome was in power, and everywhere they went, everywhere they conquered, right? They were calling them barbarians, all of them. Just because they weren't, they didn't believe in the same things or doing the same things or whatever it was. Speaking the same language, now they're just barbarians. Well, it's the same thing here, man. If you ain't on Esau's, trail of thought, whatever, for lack of a better word, right? You're nothing to him. You're a coward. You're wicked, essentially. Okay, and that you need to be brought to justice. That's their reasoning. All right. His neighbors, however, reported, so the people that actually lived in the area, right, reported that the U.S. Special Operations troops had broadcast warnings that anyone who failed to leave the house would die. Now that sounds like they were preparing the attack. And they were warning people to come out. Otherwise they were going to die because they were about to blow their shit up. All right. This is one told Al Jazeera of hearing a barrage of attacks at 3 a.m., 2 hours after the Special Forces unit had landed. This is the raid follows last month's publication by the New York Times of previously classified documents showing that U.S. airstrikes had killed thousands of civilians in Iraq and Syria during the war against ISIS, with the Pentagon systematically covering up their deaths. That's what they do. Like I said, to them it's collateral damage, man. But obviously the world don't want to hear that US are slaughtering women and children just willy-nilly, man. Like it's nothing. You men are worried about COVID, man. They're worried about bombs and bullets. US bombs and bullets, man. This is where is it? Yeah. So as with previous assassination missions against Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden under President Barack Obama in 2011 and the former ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi under President Donald Trump in 2019, Thursday's killing was followed by claims that the operation had made the American people safer. And this is just a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of lies, isn't it? And everybody should know this by now. The same pretext with the war on terror when it began under Bush. Oh, it's about making the U.S. public safer because they hate our freedoms. They hate our freedoms. That's why they sent planes to blow up the tower. Yeah, okay, all right, Bush, whatever. And it's been the same ever since. Just excuse after excuse, lie after lie. Just so that they can justify what it is that they're doing. And like I said, Biden's suffering right now, man. His statistics right now are like crazy low. But apparently they've gone up a little bit since. So you know, it's probably just a political stunt, something to put in the paper, you know, or whatever the reason may be, man. But all I know, man, this is Esau we're talking about here. So he does nothing but lie, and he does nothing but wage war, right? So he ain't on the righteous side of nothing, man. All right, ain't on the righteous side of nothing. All right, this is This is as with these previous episodes, it was treated as an occasion to appeal for national unity and glorify American militarism, because America is divided, man, severely divided. You know, so I'm guessing that, you know, they're trying to feed you another boogeyman to kind of get behind him, right? So in his speech from the White House, Biden described the U.S. military as the solid steel backbone of this nation. Well, what about God? What about God? Right? God's people, God's nation. What about God? No, it's the military, man, because it's the weapon. It's Esau. That's Esau's blessing, man. Right? It's the military. It's their arsenals, man. Their weapons. Okay, the military. That's the backbone of America. The violence, the war, the bloodshed. That is the backbone of America. And the witchcraft. That is the backbone of America, man. It ain't God. It ain't the Most High. It ain't Yahweh. You know, as much as they parade around like, you know, they're super devout and believe in that stuff, man. They don't believe in that. They believe in the gun. Might makes right. That's what they believe in. Right? He added, this operation is a testament to America's reach and capability. You shouldn't even be reaching over there. What are you doing there? Making everybody else's lives miserable, man. That's what the hell you're doing there. Talking about protecting American people somewhere in the Middle East. So he added, this operation is a testament to America's reach and capability to take out terrorist threats no matter where they tried to hide anywhere in the world. So he's trying to save face because they just withdrew from Afghanistan, man, after being embarrassed. All right, and he's talking about, oh yeah, America's capability. Nah, man, you man, you got embarrassed. All right, trying to save face now. All right. Oh yeah. Obviously, the Russia issue as well. Man, they're trying to make it like, oh yeah, America on something. Now Russia gonna deal with you, man. Russia gonna deal with you another way. Russia and China, man, they're gonna fuck you up, man. I can't wait. All right, you're gonna fuck each other up, man. But America is the place that's gonna get destroyed, man. And I can't wait. You know, because you know the wickedness it has to stop, man. All this madness has to stop. Says, coming in the midst of the feverish campaign for war against Russia, the operation is being used as an example of the capacity to project US military power on a global scale, which is really weakening. Esau's grip and strength in the world is weakening because he's being brought down. All right, everyone can smell that blood. Everyone knows America's getting weaker, and they're lining themselves up to take you out. Right? Militarily, financially, you know, economically, they're looking to move on you, man. Right? And that's all part of prophecy. Okay, as your kingdom is falling. Okay, these other nations are going to rise up against you. All right? As for promoting national unity, this has diminishing returns after a more than 2-decade global war on terror. See, it's just non-stop. It's non-stop war. And like I said, it's Esau and his weapons, man. That's his blessing. That's how he does things on the earth. It don't stop. Right? There's never going to be any peace under Esau, man. Never. Right? So that has seen killing of over 1 million people in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, and elsewhere, along with deaths and maiming of thousands of US troops and expenditure of trillions of dollars, by the Pentagon. All right, so America out there killing millions of people for what? So-called to protect the United States, blowing up a bunch of Arabs to protect the United States. Come on, you know that's a damn lie. You know that's a straight up lie. You know, sacrificing your troops for what? For what's the noble cause that you're fighting for? You know, it's all BS, man. It's all BS. Right. So I was gonna grab a couple of scriptures, man, and close up. It's Psalms 58. It's up on the top, right? Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Right? It says, yea, in your heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Okay, and that is all Esau's doing, man. He's waging violence in the earth constantly, non-stop, against everyone and everything. Right? The animals, the trees. No one's safe from Esau and his war and his violence. Okay, what he's doing out here. Right, and this is why everyone's getting pissed off with him, man. All these nations are getting pissed off with him because they're just abusing and bullying everybody, man. Making up reasons to do shit. You know? Verse 3 said the wicked, okay, which are these Edomites, right? Esau, right? The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as you born speaking lies. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they're good at. You know, that's part of one of his talents. You know, he's a prolific liar, man. He lies at everything. All right? You got to scrutinize everything he sort of says, man. You know, he giving you one reason, but it's a whole different reason why he's doing what he's doing. Because he wants to look good on the surface. He wants to be respected on the surface. You know, he wants you to big him up. You know, he wants you to side with him, man. You know, but he out there just pushing wickedness, man, and he's getting away with it. At this moment in time, because you people believe in the lies, man. But if you knew who this man was, you knew these people were Edomites, man, you wouldn't believe nothing that they say that comes out of their mouth, man, because they're natural born lies from the womb, right? It says their poison is like a poison of a serpent. They are like a deaf adder that stoppeth her air. Said, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O Most High, in their mouth. Break out the teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Right? The Most High is breaking them down. The military is getting broken down. Because that's their teeth, right? That's their power. That's what they do damage with, their military, right? The backbone of the US, right? It's getting weaker. The Most High is breaking their teeth. Right? And they're going to be fully broken when the Lord destroys the land of America. All right. But yeah, man, he's just full of lies, man. You know. And I say, if you still believe the narrative that they push every time they do some shit like this, man, you're a fool, you know. He out there doing his own thing, man. Doing his own wickedness. His own purpose. It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And they went out another horse that was red, okay, which represents Esau, right? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. I don't know if you checked it out recently, right? But the Middle East is a bit of a mess, you know. And go check Syria right now. Go check Libya right now. Go check Iraq right now. You know, man, these places are a mess. Everywhere the US has been is a mess. Right? They destroyed that place, man. These people are all fucked up, and Esau did that. Now he gonna blame terrorist cells and this leader, that leader, whatever, man. But these are all agents, man. They're all paid agents. Okay, they're working with them, and they've been setting them up all this time, doing that shit, man. They all lead back to Esau, all back to America and these other nations, man, that set these groups up. All right, so everywhere they've gone, man, they've messed the whole place up, man. All right. They take peace from the earth, man. Ain't no one living good out there, man. Ain't no one living good anywhere. Right? And that they should kill one another. Like I said, they're always fighting, always at war, right? And there was given unto him a great sword, right? And that great sword represents his technology, beginning with his nuclear weapon. That's his baby right there. You know? That's the the weapon that ends all wars, as they say. Right, and they're the things that are going to be used to end Esau. All right, but he has a great sword in his hand, because as well as everything else that he's got in his hand, all the guns, or the missiles, or the tanks, or the aircraft, or the warships and everything, man. All the different types of technology he has. Okay, but that great sword is that nuclear power, that nuclear, missile, man. All right, and that's what he threatens everybody with, man. No one really wants to mess with America because if you ain't a nuclear power, man, there ain't no point stepping to America because they can just end it at one time. Ask Japan. I mean, they got their own nuclear power now. I don't know if they got missiles. I don't think they must have. But I remember reading one time they didn't want to hold any. They got nuclear power, but no missiles or something like that. I don't know. But but ask Japan, man. America ended them one time with 2 bombs. And them are old model type bombs, hydrogen bombs or whatever, right? They're old models, right? Esau's power is increased. It's leveled up, plentyfold since then, exponentially, right? And so if you ain't got them type of armories, man, there ain't no point trying to step to America, man, because America will just end your whole existence. Have you fishing at babies with 10 arms and shit, in the aftermath. It's Psalms 55 verse 21. It says the words of his mouth. Verse 21 says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right, so he says he's doing all this stuff for the good of his people, or good of the world, or whatever. That he's out there destroying places and killing masses of people, civilians and civilians and criminals alike, supposedly. But he out there indiscriminately just killing people in the millions, right? But it's for the benefit of the world, right? That's what he says. Or that's what they say, right? So it's all good, isn't it? Right, all good. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Nah, he's just a devil, man. Yeah, they're killing people for his own enjoyment, to steal, because that's what he's always been doing. He's always been doing this. Killing and stealing and, doing all of that. Shedding blood because he loves it. He's a violent man. And all he knows is how to live by the sword. Because that was his blessing. Go back to Jacob and Esau's blessing. Esau was blessed with the sword. That's how he keeps dominion over the other nations, because of his sword. His capability was, they spoke about the capability to wage war, to use force against other nations. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Ask every nation. ask all these nations. Okay, because Esau, these lands that Esau live in, didn't belong to him. He taught them by that exact same thing, by the sword. The land of America took by the sword. All these other places, man, because his ass should be down there in Edom, man. In Idumea, that's where he should be at. But guess what? You ain't gonna find him there. You're gonna find him everywhere else, though. Calling shots, running things. Because that's what he's done. He's oppressed the people of the earth with the sword. Right? It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right? So even though Esau is this mighty beast on the earth, right? He can do all kinds of things, because he's got the capability to make people's lives a living hell. Right? Trusting upon the Lord, we have a greater power, man. Right? We have a greater power, man. And if we're of the Lord's elect, there's nothing he can do to us that's going to defeat us. All right? It says, but thou, O power, Most High Yahweh, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Okay, that's what's going to happen to Esau and his kingdom. And the kingdoms of these heathens, man, these heathens get brought down too, right? It says, O power shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Right, so we know it's just a matter of time now before Esau is removed out of power, removed from the earth, until he's destroyed. Okay, and these heathens and these nations, they're going to go down with him. Okay, well, Yahushua is going to turn up with the mighty host, and that's going to be it for you. So, man, it ain't going to matter about all that technology you got. Right? It ain't going to mean nothing, man. Okay, in fact, you know, that mighty sword, that them nukes, they're going to use against you. All right, you know, so it ain't gonna matter. You think you got all the power, but really you have none. Okay, not when it comes to the Heavenly Father and His Son and the mighty host. You know, so we're just waiting for that day, man. Because all this violence that you perpetrate in the earth, you're gonna receive yours, man. Okay, you're gonna receive yours. You're gonna drink of that cup that the Lord has in His right hand with the fury in it, man. Okay, you're gonna receive all of that, man, and you're gonna be destroyed utterly. Right, and the nations, the other, you know, the people of the earth, man, they're gonna rejoice at your destruction. Right, Obadiah tells you that you're despised among the heathen. You know, you're greatly despised in the earth, man, because you're a wicked, man, and you're just full of shit. Essentially, you know, you're just full of shit. Right, and the earth would be good. It would be better off when the Most High gets rid of you. Anyway, you know, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. I hope it's edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next one, man. So today I say shalom.